to figure out how to get some central AC in my house before I actually have a heat stroke. But it's week 1 coming up. Okay, and this is where dreams are alive. This is where people think they have chance to go to the championship in fantasy football. Dreams are at all-time high. I'm a little worried about my running backs. Okay, I've got Antonio Gibson, I've got Devin Singletary, I've got Damian Harris. There's a lot of question marks around that committee backfield. You know, you look at a committee backfield in the NFL, which quite possibly might be the Washington Commanders, you know. One of their rookies, the rookie, Brian Robinson, unfortunately was shot in a carjacking, so he's on my bench with a couple of wounds, with a couple of bullet holes, but he's going to look to bounce back. But in the meantime, I've got Antonio Gibson, who better perform, because if he doesn't, I'm going to rely a lot on my receivers, okay? But it doesn't matter. You guys didn't come here to hear me talk about my roster. You came here to get news. You came here to get Betting Bonanza, some picks, some betting picks. You came here for all sorts of reasons. Maybe you came here for companionship. Maybe. Okay? And by the way, I'm sweating. I'm actually sweating. It is so hot. And I don't have air conditioning. Granted, I live close enough to the ocean to where they say you don't need AC, but I am sweating. Okay, so I apologize if my face looks like I just dumped it into the fountain of youth, because I'm just going to be sweating here tonight. Okay, week 1, and this one's going to be kind of a short snippet here. We do have a special guest. He was in the neighborhood. He knew it was going to be the opening broadcast for week 1. Okay, and he hit me up. He said, "Hey man, I'm down the street. You got room for 2?" This guy, and these are one of the few people where you see that text message and you don't say no. And I am just so happy to be able to present him today during the show. But before that, I think we're just going to jump into Betting Bonanza, and then I'm just going to kind of let him take over. Okay, so right now you're getting me, Brian. Hello. I'm your host, by the way. Monte Teo. Are we going to get into Monte Teo? I mean, we could. I need to fix the chat. And see, this is where you have to become a producer and kind of fix things in the chat. Boom, chat is fixed. Okay. Jeez, dude, I'm sweating. It is so hot. But no, before Monte Teo, before anything else, I think we're just going to go ahead and jump into the Betting Bonanza portion. But disclaimer on my part. Gambling, and I've said this before, man, I've been burned personally. I know a lot of people have been burned, even worse than me, which is surprising. But my philosophy on responsible gambling is you don't want to bet more than you're willing to spend on a night out of entertainment, right? So you look at the football week, you got Thursday nights, you've got Sundays, you got Mondays. I would say on the whole week, don't bet more than you're willing to go out to Pacific Beach, San Diego, and spend on drinks. You know what I mean? I've done that one too many. Yep, G-Stap, we've all been there before. And this is why I have this disclaimer here, which I don't usually do, but I figure if YouTube's going to take me off, they better not do it for gambling reasons. You know what I mean? Just remember that there's always a wind right around. I'm assuming he's going to say the corner. And see, this is a work in progress, guys. This is a live stream, okay? I've got 2 monitors in front of my face. I've got a gosh darn ring light that I bought from Walmart, okay? It's got plenty of settings, though. You can't be upset with it. Don't spend more than a night of drinking. And let's be honest, for some people, that might be $150. Maybe you buy a movie ticket, and then you buy drinks at the movie theater, and then you go out to Thai food afterwards. You're looking at a $100, $150 night. Okay, forego the movies, the Thai food, the alcohol, and bet if you so choose, because at the end of the day, all this is entertainment. Okay, let's talk about MVP, because if you're gonna bet on the MVP, now's the time. Because after a couple weeks of football, after people settle in, the odds are gonna drastically change. And I think as far as value goes, I think Russell Wilson at a plus 1,200 odd. Russ MVP over Herb. Now, see, now, Papa Drizzy, let me clarify something. This isn't me saying that I want Russell Wilson to be the MVP. I am a Chargers fan, okay? For better or for worse, I am a Chargers fan. You think I want Russell Wilson putting up 75 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 5,000 passing yards, and, maybe a couple of rushing touchdowns? No, of course not. I want the Broncos to suffer. I don't have any Broncos on my fantasy football team. I'm open to trade offers, but I don't have any of them. You think I want them to do well in the AFC West? We have enough competition. So no. I think Justin Herbert has a better chance, and guess what? It's reflected in the odds. I believe Justin Herbert was like a plus 800, plus 700. I mean, you're looking at Russell Wilson, and let me say this as well. It's easier for an all-star player, specifically a quarterback, to be traded or to be picked up by a new team and make such an immediate difference to that team and to that clubhouse, you can say, to the whole organization, to where it's hard to argue the MVP status. For example, let's take a look at Tom Brady when he gets traded to the Buccaneers. Instantly makes them a Super Bowl champion. I mean, is that not MVP? Could any other quarterback go and do that? Maybe. Russell Wilson at plus 1,200 is the best value for an MVP pick. Because I think if he takes the Broncos to the playoffs, I'm not talking AFC Championship. I'm not talking anything. I'm talking playoffs. I'm talking wild card, not above 11 wins on the whole season. Yo, Butter My Lobster is in the chat. Cowboys money line. We'll talk about the Cowboys here in a second. The Cowboys. You guys with the chat, I'm... Dude, Brandon, I don't even know how you... Dude, this chat right now, you guys are throwing me off my game. I see what appears to be some sort of retriever that got sent in the chat. It's cute. I want to know how it's made. I want to know how it's done. I don't even know it, and I'm running the stream. Look at all these puppies on the screen, distracting me from my overall point. They've got Dak Prescott at better odds of winning the MVP than my boy Russell Wilson. And let's be fair. Let's be fair about something. It'll be harder for Dak Prescott to get the MVP award than it would be for Russell Wilson, because Dak Prescott's established in the Dallas Cowboys system. He has been their quarterback. He has been their guy. So he has to go above and beyond. Even, if Dak takes them to the playoffs, in that NFC, who cares? But if Russell Wilson can get the Broncos to the playoffs in that crowded AFC, let alone the AFC West, that's a hell of a lot different than last season. Russell Wilson is an elite quarterback. He didn't quite show it last season, but now he's got Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton, KJ Hamler. He's got the tight end Oba Huaka. I don't even want to be disrespectful and mispronounce his name. He's on my fantasy team. I hope he does well. But Russell Wilson at plus 1,200 for the MVP, put $10 on it. Put a bacon western cheeseburger on it. Week 1 matchups. These are now my weekly picks. Jags at Commanders. Right now they've got Commanders, Washington Commanders, formerly known as the Redskins. They are favored by 2.5 points at minus 110 odds. Chiefs at Cardinals. They got them at a -6. I just hope Patrick Mahomes throws for 5 touchdowns, 500 yards, and maybe a 25-yard scramble, okay, because he's on my fantasy team. He's my guy. So I think the Chiefs, I think they win by a touchdown. I don't see that as such an unbelievable thing, even if it is on the road in Arizona, where the heat might just kill you. Thank God they've got a dome. Broncos, Seahawks. This one, honestly, I'm a little iffy on, and I'll tell you why. The Broncos are favored by just under a touchdown at -6.5 at minus 110 odds. I don't care, what do they call it, the 12th man, 13th man, the fan base of Seattle Seahawks. I guarantee you those Seahawks fans are going to be cheering as Russell Wilson just dissects that defense, okay? I don't think it's such an unbelievable thing to think that the Broncos put the absolute hammer down on the Seahawks. Bills at Rams. This is Thursday night football. This is the first week 1 action we're going to see. First game Thursday night in Los Angeles. I don't think it's that high scoring of a game. Bills at Rams under 52 points at minus 113 odds. These are some elite defenses. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw, but Aaron Donald is swinging helmets. Okay, he took a page out of the old book of his buddy Myles Garrett. Do we remember that when Myles Garrett was swinging a helmet around? Mason Rudolph almost was a statistic. Okay, but he's a dangerous man. No disciplinary action was to be had with him. He isn't going to miss any time. In the interview, it was actually hilarious, and we can look at that later. But he's like, "Oh, no one got hurt. I'm focused on getting to Josh Allen and putting him in a coffin." And that's not quite the exact quote there, but I think that's basically what he meant when he went to describe that. You're going to shower listening to my voice. I don't think I've ever had a compliment quite so flattering. I appreciate it. I hope I can give you the shower environment that you deserve. Shower that's a sanctuary, and I'm honored to be a part of that. Eagles at Lions. This is my underdog pick of the week. I think the Lions are going to clap on the Eagles. They're at a plus 165. I think these are two good offensive lines. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch, honestly. I think both teams are going to come out like just firing on all cylinders. But I think the Lions are going to surprise people this season. I think that what Dan Campbell is doing over there, I don't know if you guys seen Hard Knocks, all that good stuff, but that is going to be a team that is going to be it's going to be something to watch. And I don't think they're going to the playoffs, but I think they're going to be better than people think. Maybe more than 6 wins, 7 wins. Dare I say the Lions with 7 wins? Is that the hot take? Now he's in my living room. I did smell some marijuana earlier, okay? So I think he's been under the influence. Not for me to say, but I'm going to go ahead and grab him. So I'm going to leave the screen here for just a second, but he's going to be here, so you guys don't go anywhere. He's basically just going to take over the rest of the podcast, whatever this is, a YouTube show, a Twitch live stream, whatever you want to believe, that's what it is. Let me go get the guest, okay? Is this microphone? All right. Yo, what's up? What's up, y'all? I remember being here live in the studio last season. This was back when I had my hot single, Custard is Greater Than Jelly. Okay, y'all remember it. Y'all remember the heat. Y'all remember who I am, okay, because this is Yung Kustard, and Custard is spelled with a K, okay, and you already know I got my own cutscene. Okay, I come up here and I tell Brian, look, man, I'm gonna be on the show, you know, but I'm gonna need some party favors. Okay, I'm gonna need some water first and foremost because it's hot outside. My name's Yung Kustard. Back again, 2022 season. Haters will say that's Brian. Pfft. Yeah, haters are gonna say that's Brian. Does Brian look this good? Does Brian look this good? Huh? Does Brian look this good? Didn't think so. Anyways, he also wanted me to shout out the sponsors of the show before I got started, and I've got notes on my cell phone right here, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and look at it first so I don't misread what the sponsors want me to say. First sponsor, Amazon. Yes, we came out with Lord of the Rings. Yes, we are great. Yes, we have Bezos money, but Off the Bench is the best podcast and you should support it. We built our empire off the backs of our delivery drivers. Okay, I'm just reading what the script says here, you guys, but we built our empire off the back of our delivery drivers. They don't have speed governors. They're told to speed and evade law enforcement to provide excellent service. It's like Stephanie's, he wants to say something about Justin Herbert. Oh, we wouldn't want to miss that, would we?
Winning MVP this season.
I'm going with Justin Herbert.
Oh.
For the Los Angeles Chargers. I think that Justin Herbert is going to win league MVP.
That's bold.
First of all, I think they're going to win the AFC West. By virtue of winning the AFC West, you will have had to have beaten Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Derek Carr. So I think by doing that, that's going to really shine a light on him. We keep forgetting that in his second year in the league, he threw for over 5,000 yards.
Yes.
38 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, completed 65% of his passes. 5,000 yards in his second year. That's one of the reasons the eye of the storm is on Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa was...
Okay, we don't need to hear about Tua right now. I just want to say, and look, man, I'm a rapper. I don't even watch sports. But when you have Stephen A. backing your team, you think he's the best commentator. You think he's the best sports analyst in the world. Once he starts going on tangents about the Cowboys, that's where he loses me, personally. But when he's talking about your guys and he's saying good things, man, it's like music. It is like music.
Was picked 5th in the draft 3 years ago, 3 years ago. Justin Herbert was picked 6th. If Justin Herbert had been picked by Miami, there might not have ever been some alleged conversation between Stephen Ross and Brian Flores. Brian Flores wouldn't be a lead assistant in Pittsburgh. He'd still be the head coach for the Miami Dolphins because the Miami Dolphins would be battling with the Buffalo Bills for supremacy in the AFC East. They would clearly be a playoff team, and as a result, who the hell knows what would have happened. And the reason I say they would have been a playoff team, even though the Chargers haven't been in the first 2 years of Justin Herbert's career, is because in the AFC East, obviously you're going through significantly lesser competition. And so it would have been a battle. I think that they would have probably been in the playoffs. Now we take into consideration that. And then we look at who he has available to him to throw the ball to. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, 2,000-plus yard receivers, 2 receivers that are making over $20 million a year. They got some stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. We already know they can ball.
That's what you got to talk about is this, just the talent around Mr. Herbert, because it's never been so much talent.
But that don't mean they don't have stuff that they have to live up to. We got to take that into consideration. I'm looking at the rest of their roster right now. You got Gerald Everett at your tight end spot. Okay, you got Eckler at your running back spot. This dude averaged more than 4 yards a carry. We got to look at it from that perspective. Then on the defensive side of the ball, not only did you brought up Sebastian Joseph Day just a little bit early in the show. Why is he significant? Because your run defense was porous last year. Okay, that's why you got him. So you get him. He's supposed to be able to help shore that up.
Funny.
You got a guy in Khalil Khalil Mack that's out to prove that he's still that dude at age 31. People are counting him out because he's been riddled by injuries. So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about James and their crew. I see a defense that's vastly improved. I see an offense that should be what we expect them to be. I see a coach that worked through his rookie year doldrums and ain't going to make some of the same stupid, hazardous mistakes that he made in his rookie campaign as a head coach. And I think about the fact that the reigning defending Super Bowl champions are the
BJ Hailstorm, no disrespect to LT, Gates, and Rivers. This may be the most talented Chargers team I've seen in a while. Yes. And I hate to jinx things. I don't want to say that this is the most talented team because that opens up karma to just rain down on you. But this Chargers team at least is going to be fun to watch, at the very least.
Los Angeles Rams, sharing the same city and the same arena with you. So if you the Chargers, are you trying to be the Clippers from the 90s and the 80s while the Lakers were doing their thing? Or are you trying to raise up and say, excuse us,
No.
don't count?
I get it, Stephen A. And I hear this argument or point or whatever you want to call it from a lot of different people. I hear them say, oh, the Chargers are the Clippers right now because the Rams win one championship. The Lakers, the reason why the Lakers and the Clippers, that relationship is so interesting and not a valid comparison here is because the Lakers have the most winning history of any of maybe of any sports franchise ever. Okay. You talk about the Celtics, sure, they've got their own, they've got their banners, no doubt. But to make the comparison that the Rams winning one Super Bowl is comparable to the Lakers Clippers sharing a stadium, I mean, I don't think that's fair. Both teams just moved there. The Chargers used to be there in 1960. They were there first, so I don't want to hear that argument. Okay, it's just like, I get it. Right now, they own the city. They got a Super Bowl. I get that. But it is not the same relationship as the Lakers and the Clippers. Okay?
On us out. You see, you trying to be those modern day Clippers that got a Kawhi Leonard and a Paul George with an owner like Steve Ballmer. You trying to be those dudes that saying, we're not going to be the fair weather stepchild. We're going to make our own noise.
That's right.
All of those things, I think, contribute to Justin Herbert being the 2022 NFL MVP.
Yes. Thank you, Stephen A. I didn't agree with everything you said. But
Mitch Trubisky is our starting quarterback.
Mike Tomlin. I don't need to hear Tomlin talk about how Trubisky is their QB because I got Kenny Pickett just taking up real estate on my bench. Okay, because I know once they put that young man under the bright lights of the NFL, I know he is going to take off. We know what Trubisky is going to give your team, and that is mediocrity. Sure, does he know how to hit his reads? Sure. Can he complete a pass? Can he run an offense? Does he have more experience? Sure. But that does not mean that he is better for your franchise than Kenny Pickett. Okay? I say fuck it. Do the rebuild. Get Pickett on the field. See what happens. I don't understand.
Man, good to see you, bro.
Oh,
My God.
It's good to see you in that silver and black. Oh,
Oh, yeah, this your first time, huh?
When you almost lose your life together, it can bring you closer.
I will be recruiting very hard. So when that time comes, it will be a full court press.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I texted him like the next day.
It was a lot of, bro, it was like just pure shock. Green Bay was my house, but now I'm here full time. I'm back home.
A little promotional activity. ESPN is giving Devontae Adams some clout. You know, I'm seeing a lot of stuff about how Davante Adams and Derek Carr have this special relationship and how they've gone through Mortal Kombat together or whatever they're saying on all these, stations. And I like it. Look, I'm happy that Davante Adams is happy going to the Raiders. Do I think it's going to be Randy Moss and Tom Brady? Forget about it. Forget about it. Do I think Hunter Renfro's still going to have a big season? Yes. Do I think Davante Adams has the same success that he did with Green Bay? Of course not. Aaron Rodgers is a very different animal. I don't care if you've gone through 2 lifetimes of controversy or of adversity with Derek Carr, Davante Adams, but you are not going to have the same quarterback in Derek Carr that you had with Aaron Rodgers, and that's a fact. You better get 20 targets a game if you want to have the same numbers, man. At least. Davante and Carr went to college together. Yeah, they did. They went to college together, and they had all sorts of great experiences together. Maybe they tried weed for the first time together. Maybe they had a bar fight and won, or maybe they lost. I get it. They have experiences together. I'm not saying that they're not going to be good together. I'm just saying that it's going to be a little bit different than Aaron Rodgers.
Russell Wilson, new Broncos quarterback, returning to Seattle for the first Monday Night Football game of the season.
Monday night opener, State of the Seahawks, Monday Night Football will be there. What will be going through your mind as you're standing on one sideline, the Broncos and Russell Wilson are standing on the other?
It's ball game. It's championship ball game time. That's all. That ain't no different than that. I won't make it one bit different. I won't talk one bit different. It's no different than any other.
Dude, can you guys see the fear in Mr. Pete Carroll's face? Let's try to find
that. I won't make it.
Look at I don't know if you guys can tell, but he is just, look at his eyes. You can tell by the way his eyes look. He's not looking at the interviewer. He's not even looking at the camera. All he's thinking about is Russell Wilson and Cortland Sutton, Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy, just driving the football up the field in front of your home fans and dropping 42 points on your entire team. I mean, look at that face. That is fear. And it ain't one bit different. It's not one bit different. We're going to approach it like we always approach everything, just win it. And look. I like Pete Carroll. I think Pete Carroll's a good dude. I think he's a great coach. But you ain't fooling anybody, buddy. You ain't fooling anybody. You look scared.
One bit different. I won't talk one bit different. It's no different than any other game we play. It's the biggest game in the world, and we're going to do everything we can to win it, and that's how we do. We practice learning how to concentrate and focus in that manner, so every game, no matter what the situation is of the same import. And we're practicing like it's the championship of the championship. It'll be a blast. Our fans are going to go crazy. It's going to be as fun as you can get. Open up the season on Monday night. It's great stuff.
Does one side have an advantage, him knowing the way that you like to attack, you knowing the way that he likes to attack?
We'll find out.
Okay, you guys, hold on a second. I've got to pause this video right at the moment he says, "We will find out."
Knowing the way that you like to attack, you knowing the way that he likes to attack.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. You see that face? And now his eyes have gotten bigger. He realizes he's being asked a direct question about his ability to overcome Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos as an opponent, and all he can do is look like, yes, and Sean said it earlier, a deer in the headlights. He is saying, we'll find out. If I'm a player on that team, on that Seattle Seahawks team, if I'm Drew Lock, I don't want my head coach saying, we'll find out. I want my head coach saying, yeah, I have a good game plan together. I've been watching a lot of film. I know this guy, Russell Wilson, really well, and I think we're going to have a great game plan. I don't want to see we'll find out, or here, we'll find out. Come on, Pete. Come on, Pete. You're better than that. Yeah, Sean, give Horse Cocklock the keys. I agree. Might as well. Geno Smith, it's the same thing with Mitch Trubisky. You know what you're going to get. Geno Smith isn't going to get you something that he hasn't gotten all 27 other teams he's played for. He's not going to do anything different. Okay? Give Drew Lock. He's got great celebrations. He looks icy out there on the field. Give him a chance. All right. I do want to hear what Mike Tomlin had to say about confirming Mitch Trubisky as the Steelers' starting quarterback. I do want to see what he has to say.
Mitch Trubisky is our starting quarterback and our captain. Man, we're just really comfortable with what Mitch has shown us. He's a guy that came to us with franchise quarterback experience, if you will. He's comfortable in those shoes. He's been the focal point of a football team and an organization before. He's had success in doing so. Like I mentioned when we acquired him, he took the Bears to the playoffs 2 out of 4 years. He has a winning record as a starting quarterback. Those things were attractive to us. His athleticism and mobility were attractive to us. He took care of the football in stadium. All our quarterbacks did, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say that. It's good to come to decisions based on what people are doing as opposed to what people are.
I've got to respond to Shingard here in the chat. Such a good move. Get Pickett away from that line. Look, man, you ever heard the phrase pressure creates diamonds? Get Pickett under fire. He's a young kid. He's got 2022 medical staff and medical science behind him. Let him get knocked around a little bit. Let him feel the heat and let him develop. It also breaks coals. It breaks the coal to then become a diamond, and if you want an all-star quarterback, I'd say take that risk. Mitch Trubisky, man, it's like what Tomlin is saying is like, it's like the most boring Madden franchise manager would say. Tell me this, chat, and Sean, I'm going to ask you this as well, Shingard. Who would you start on your Madden 23 franchise, the video game? Would you start Pickett or would you start Trubisky? I started Trubisky in a league last year, but Pickett for show. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. Look at this, you guys. What did I say earlier in the video? Tyler Lockett said fans should cheer for Russell Wilson on Monday night. That's what I'm saying, is they're not even going to be cheering for Geno Smith. Everybody's going to just put on a Broncos jersey. That entire fan base is just going to be like, all right, Russ is our guy. Okay, Pat McAfee, bro, I want to get some on McCaffey on this right now.
People are calling for Aaron Donald to be suspended games because of actions in a preseason practice. Not just preseason, which doesn't matter, a preseason practice. A man named Aaron Donald, who everybody talks about being a hero. A man who said, ring me, and won the Super Bowl for the Los Angeles Rams. A man who saved a guy's life on the south side of Pittsburgh shortly after winning a Super Bowl in the offseason. A man who has been entitled the greatest football player on earth. Every single time the Rams are on TV, you're going to hear 15 to 25 minutes about how great Aaron Donald is at football, because Aaron Donald makes every player he plays against shit their pants the night before and during the operation because how good he is at football, how intense he is. And now, this son of a bitch, Aaron Donald, is taking helmets off people's heads and swinging them around in a preseason practice. Can't have it.
Can't have it.
Suspend him every preseason game for the rest of his career.
Yeah, right.
Aaron, you think you're so fucking tough? You want to live by your own code? You want to swing helmets in preseason practice? Hope you're happy you never get to play in a preseason football game again.
Sorry. Hope it was worth it.
I just love this man, Pat.
3 years ago, Myles Garrett was suspended 6 games for swinging his helmet at a Steelers player. So the question becomes, What happens now to Aaron Donald? The Rams defensive lineman swung a Bengals helmet viciously, that's the video you're seeing right now, at a number of players in the middle of a scrum toward the end of practice today. And right after the fight was broken up, the coaches, they cut practice short. Not by a whole lot, but they cut practice short. It was the second and final joint practice between the Bengals and the Rams. So now back to the question, will Aaron Donald get suspended? According to NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero, discipline for incidents at practice is up to individual teams. So,
yeah, whenever he's wielding a helmet, that's a dangerous man. I mean, he doesn't need a helmet to be dangerous, but he's a dangerous man. I'm sweating. I need to take an ice cold shower, I think. It's been a pleasure, you guys. Young Kustard here on the ones and twos. You know my name. You've heard it before. I'm glad I got to come by the podcast today. I know y'all doing video now, which is kind of cool. But I appreciate you having me on. I think I'm about to go down and drink a couple Bud Lights. They were in the fridge, so I might just do it. Shout out to Off the Bench. Shout out to Mr. Brian, Mr. Street Meat, for having me on. I appreciate that. Always willing as one of the leaders in the San Diego underground rap scene. It's always my pleasure to come out for local San Diego creators. So I'm always down. You just got to hit me up. That's all you got to do. Let's see what he has to say. No, I was saying that the Steelers will get more wins than the Giants. I think it'll be close. I think it'll honestly be close. Thanks, Noel Dog, man. I appreciate that. Man. Seriously. This has been a fun one. You know, this is only week one. We've got some plans for more like fun content. You know, I want to get you guys on a video chat to where it's like straight up interviews, like virtual interviews, which is totally possible. So if y'all are interested in that, hit me up on the DMs on Instagram. If you aren't following me yet, it's OTB_live. Of course, there's going to be merch coming out soon. You heard it here first, but I think I'm going to do some bucket hats this year. Okay. Kind of like Schoolboy Q kind of status. But I appreciate y'all stopping in. Seriously, it was a good one. I've already gone over the time a little bit. Apparently, the sponsors said Young Kustard could only be on the screen for so many minutes before they pulled all their sponsorship money. So we're going to have to get him off the screen. But remember, once again, we are brought to you by Amazon. Amazon, we build our empire off the back of our delivery drivers. And they're the only sponsor for the podcast so far, but we'll get into the others maybe later. I know I'm going to get a bunch of offers here shortly for sponsorship, so we'll keep our eyes open for that. Week one, I'm going to be in Dallas, unfortunately, so I'm not going to actually be around to watch games in my home turf. I'm going to probably have to go to a sports bar in Dallas. I'm going to have to wear my Herbert jersey and probably get peanuts thrown at me. I don't know, but that's what I'm going to be doing because I got to be down there. Yeah, man, I'll probably be doing videos on Tuesday nights and then releasing the YouTube version on Wednesdays. So the reason why I want to do it on Tuesday is because I want to get the waiver wire options in for Waiver Wire Wednesday, on a live stream. So that's why I'll be doing them on Tuesdays, YouTube videos on Wednesdays. So appreciate you guys. I will be seeing you next Tuesday. All right. So y'all stay frosty, stay lit, and go ahead and follow Young Pinch on the flip. Peace.